Well, I said I would do a honorable mentions video for Game of the Decade for PS4, Xbox One. This is that video. Yeah, I said I would put it out, so I'm gonna do it. I'll talk more about kind of update stuff at the end of the video. I'm giving myself 45 seconds this time to talk about each game, not a minute, because I did ramble a fair bit. Also, I have some more games here to talk about than I did in the last video. So, anyway, we're gonna get started here very shortly on the first game I'm gonna talk about. And the first one is Titanfall 2. This is everything a sequel should be. Takes what made the first game great and improves upon it. A better multiplayer, a single player story. Yeah, and yet, I know some people were mixed on the removal of the smart pistol for the loadout. I wish they would have kept it just because it added a little bit of balance. Like, yeah, you didn't have to aim with it, but it gave players bad at aiming a chance to still do good. And you could still counter somebody with a smart pistol. You just had to gun them down before they got a lock on you. But anyway, enough about that. And just shift over to the next game, which is Destiny. Now I'm just going to talk about both 1 and 2. They both had very rocky starts, but towards the end but they got really better. I did a video talking about why I stopped playing Destiny 2, and it has, admittedly, from what I've seen, gotten better. I have been wanting to give the game a second chance, but my biggest complaint is being forced to buy DLC to basically keep up and still do stuff that was included in the game. It's still a very solid shooter, and I love loot-based games. It's just it just wasn't good enough to make the #1 spot. Just too many negatives to put it at #1, but still an honorable mention. And then shifting into the next game, Bloodborne. This game visually is probably my favorite game to have come out this decade. Just the visuals are incredible. I just wish I could actually sit down and complete the game because it is hard. And I know so many people are going to be like, oh, get good. Well, I'm kind of one of those gamers that if I encounter a brick wall, I'm just going to go to a different game. I'll come back to it, but I'm more than likely just going to go to something else. But artistically, this is probably my favorite game, and I would love to try to do a cosplay from this game. But that's going to be a big challenge to an amateur cosplayer. Anyway, next game, Doom 2016. This would have made #1, but there was just another game that came out that just beat it. The soundtrack is incredible. The gameplay is very satisfying. And I want to play Doom Eternal, but I just can't afford it right now. So, yeah. And then, of course, it's being published by Bethesda. And, yeah, Bethesda. Bad company now. Superhot. Probably the most unique game to have come out. So, not this console generation. Again, everybody kind of knows it. Time moves when you do, but, hey, it was very unique, a lot of fun. I actually was doing the playthrough of this to try to beat the whole game only using the katana, and that's not very often when I will actually go into doing additional challenges just for the sake of it. And yeah, I'd actually recommend giving that a try. It adds a whole new element of challenge if you didn't think the later levels of this game wasn't already hard enough. And next game, Horizon Zero Dawn. I want to put more time into this game. I love the characters. I love the world. Aloy, probably one of my favorite female characters to have basically come out, and just a very solid game. It basically just takes Assassin's Creed freeze hunting with a mixture of Monster Hunter and just combines the best parts of those games into one, and it is just incredible. I want to play this more. That's why it wasn't a number one. I'm sure if I had played it more, it probably could have been. Hooray! I've been playing this very recently. Like, yeah, I did a live stream of its demo years ago. Well, around the time when it was coming out. Not, I shouldn't say years ago, but anyway. Yeah, I've been enjoying this game. I love the idea of basically having to deal with essentially mimics of everything, and it is so fun. I want to try out the VR mode in this, but I don't have a PSVR, so it's probably going to be a while till I actually get to try this. But anyway, next game is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Much like Minecraft, this is a very influential game. Like, it shifted the focus into battle royals. For better or for worse, that's up to you. Me, personally, I'm kind of fatigued of battle royale games. I'm probably going to still try out the one for Modern Warfare. The last one I really put any time into would have been the one for Fallout 76, but that was mostly because of morbid curiosity, and plus I had the game, so why not? And I've also been playing the mobile version of this because it's free, so still very solid. I see why people enjoy it. It's just wasn't enough to be number one. SpiderMan for the PS4. Holy crap, is this game good? I would honestly have to say it's better than SpiderMan 2. Mostly because, well, it's mostly just coming from I've beaten this game, but I have not beaten SpiderMan 2. But still, just an amazing game, a lot of fun. You have to actually give this game a shot for yourself. You can get it for fairly cheap now, and I know there's been the rumors of a leak of a sequel, which if they made one, I'd be on board with it 100%. And going into our next game, God of War. This is very conflicting for me because on one hand I like this one, but on the other I still prefer the original games. This one is definitely more story driven, where yeah, the first game had a story, but it was definitely more focused on combat. Like, the combat is still solid in this game. And I still have to say I somewhat prefer the original games, but this is still a very solid reboot. And I honestly can't wait to actually play more of this game. It's one that I just keep coming back to when I'm trying to think of a different game to play. Then Detroit Become Human. Probably the best, actually no, not probably, it is the best of the Quantum Dream games to have come out. Because of course I talked about Heavy Rain being one of my favorite PS3 games, but I wish I could kind of take that back now. Still very solid. Beyond Two Souls, I was wanting to finish that before going to this one, but I just couldn't force myself into finishing it. And then this game was just, I just end up on an emotional roller coaster, and I know they're mostly robots, but it's still very good. Next game, Shadow of the Colossus, the PS4 reboot. Okay, my friends went out and picked up Monster Hunter. I went and picked up this. I think I picked up the better game because, yeah, I did enjoy Monster Hunter World, but I just preferred this game. Like, yeah, the ending's a bit of a downer, but where does it say that every video game ending needs to be uplifting? What's wrong with having a little bit of depression in your video games? But a little too much depression can kind of ruin you. Hey, I put Life is Strange as one of my favorite games, alright? Crash Team Racing Nitro Field. If it wasn't for my no re-releases or remakes rule, this would have been my #1 game of 2019. I play this game a lot with friends, and it is just so much fun. I love that not only they had the original Crash Team Racing stuff in here, but Crash Team Nitro Kart, and it was just incredible. It sucks that they just finished doing Grand Prix, but I cannot wait to see what they're actually going to still do with the game, like if they're going to still add some more content. But coming up on my last game here, Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, this game is not new player friendly. Like, I'll admit, I have not beaten any of the Kingdom Hearts games, and I still kind of enjoyed this, because well, thanks to a friend, I sort of knew what was going on story-wise. I did play the 2.8 prologue before playing this. And then I did have been actually thinking about picking up like the all-in-one bundle that's come out. But yeah, very solid game, a lot of fun, but you kind of have to play all the previous games to fully know what's going on here. And that does it for my Games of the Decade series. Took a little longer than expected. I'm gonna try to put up videos if I can. I've been kind of in a position where it's been very hard to record. I should be having a what is video coming up within the next couple weeks, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys on my next video, which hopefully shouldn't be that long of a wait.